What is going on? Philip here from the Figure Bros, bringing you guys another review. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Super Android 17 from Dragon Ball GT. You know, a lot of people crap on Dragon Ball GT, but honestly, if there's one thing they did do right, was Super Saiyan 4, and they did give us some pretty cool villains, you know? Baby, Super Android 17, obviously, the Dark Shenron. Some pretty good stuff there from GT. GT gets a lot of hate. I don't think it deserves that much hate. I actually think GT was better than Daima. Comment down below if you agree or disagree. And while you're doing that, please do me the big favor, hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you didn't like that quick take that I gave you, I do not care. Just hit the like button, please. At the very least, just do that. Desperate for those thumbs up buttons. With that being said, this is another figure that I definitely wanted this in my collection because I did like the villain for Super Android 17. But the one thing I hated was the MSRP. Huge shout out to Hobby Genki, who had like a massive clearance sale. And I was able to pick up this figure for $78. Now I think $78 for this figure is definitely worth it. The original MSRP, I think, was at Big Bad Toy Store. I think it was like $120, $125 or something like that. I'll throw up a quick photo of what it is worth over at Big Bad Toy Store, what their MSRP was. But this was a very expensive figure that I was like, ain't no way I'm spending $100+ on this figure. It's just not worth it. But Hobby Genki, huge shout out to them. I was able to pick up this figure below $100. I was able to get it for $78. That's incredible. I think that's great value. So we'll be taking a look at this figure under those guidelines of what I paid. I think a $78 is fair. And while we're doing that, just keep that in the back of your mind while we're reviewing this figure. Is it worth the $80 or less price tag? If you were buying this for $120, is it worth it? Just remember that when we're reviewing this figure. With that being said, let's go ahead and get him out of the box and take a look like we always do at articulation first. All right, now that we got him out of the box like we always do, let's go ahead and take a look at articulation first for the Super Android 17. Let's go ahead and straighten out those arms. Starting off with the head, he can look down about that much. Cool thing is his hair is very light and rubbery, so you can pretty much manipulate it. It does have some articulation too in the back, so that's kind of nice too. You can get it in a little bit of different poses. You guys can see there's a little bit of ball pegs right inside there. So pretty cool there. He can look up about that much. Arms kick out about that much, pretty good there. Again, this is pretty much standard for SH Figuarts. Bicep cut there, butterfly joint there, double jointed elbows there. I'm going to move through this pretty quickly just because there is nothing new under the sun here with this figure. It's pretty much all your standard. I do like this butterfly joint as well. You guys can see how this thing moves. It moves pretty well, and it can go pop in and out of the joint. That's the only thing that kind of sucks, is when it does pop out of the joint, you just gotta finagle it just a little bit. But the good news is, for all you people who don't like the gapping, there is no gapping in this. So that little piece right there, they colored it, they painted it beautifully. So you guys can see it blends in really nice in the shoulder. So I do like that. Definitely a little bit of attention to detail with them. Moving over to the torso, let's go ahead and get an ab crunch going. Pretty good there. I love that crunch. Back looks really, really good. So articulation here is actually really solid so far. Really like this. Legs, can he do the splits? About the splits? Yeah, I'd say he probably can. He probably can kick out a little bit more, and you guys can see these ones, they pop in and out. The legs kind of feel like Raditz a little bit. These legs are very, very spindly. Raditz was a little bit thicker, but what I mean by that is like they pop in and out pretty easily. So just something to kind of just know about when you're getting this figure. There's a thigh cut right there, pretty noticeable. Double jointed knees, which you can kick all the way back, which is pretty good. Can also kick out about that much, pretty good, and can go back about that much. The ankles, these are not very good ankles from SH. I kind of expect a little bit better. The size of his boot is a little too big too, but the ankle rocker is there and the toe hinge is also there. So that's gonna do it for the articulation. Again, pretty standard. I would say from about the waist up, really good. Waist down, really good, except for those ankles. The ankle rocker and the size of the boot is a little bit of a problematic. Why is it a problem? Because he can't just stand normally without constantly falling back. I felt like the size of his foot needs to be a little bit smaller, or his ankles need to be a little bit thicker to help him support. I feel like the support is just not there. That's what I mean by, you know, Hansi also feels like, kind of feels like Broly's legs a little bit too. A little bit weak in the legs there. As far as look and design goes and the detail of this figure, the aesthetics of it, it's really good, man. Like, this is like one of the better detailed figures. I love the gold. I love right here on his belt, the RR, the Red Ribbon Army. So really good there. I mean, his face, everything. It's well painted. Get the little, you can see his little earrings right there. I'll kind of move my hand out of the way so you guys can see the earrings are well done. Love the gold, love this green. The shoulders are exposed. Everything looks really good. The rip in his jeans, everything is really good. It does look like Super Android 17 for sure. The only thing I just have a problem with is just his balance. It just does not stand really, really well. Like even if I get his legs spread apart and I just hold it there just for a little bit, can he stand on his own? He does not. Kind of got to bend the knees a little bit, pivot the ankles inward, and then maybe you can get it to stand on his own just like that. I'll go ahead and move the camera down so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about, but that's kind of the angle. It's very awkward. The posing's not the best in the world there, but you guys can see that's kind of what you have to do to get him to stand. Personally, that's not like the biggest issue for me whatsoever, because of course we have all these stands today, so you guys can just kind of manipulate him the way you want to. Other than that, pretty good. Like as far as the details and aesthetics go of this figure, I'm definitely digging it. And this is why I said earlier, ain't no way I was paying over $100 for this figure. Because if I had paid $100 and this is what I got out of the box, I would be pretty disappointed. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Be pretty disappointed. Where this figure also does stand out is some of his accessories. Not as well as some of the other ones we have in the past, but still pretty good. We get one faceplate, two faceplates, and my favorite faceplate right there. This is definitely the best one out of the bunch right there. So you get 3 faceplates. You also get an alternative head for Goku. This is where I think they tried to sell us on this figure. Was like, hey, you get this extra piece, huh? You want this for $100+? Hell no. I don't even like this Goku to begin with, so it's kind of useless to me. We do get 2 hair pieces as well, so you get to change a little bit of a design of him a little bit, so that's pretty good. And then, of course, hands. We get some hands. We get a pair of those hands. Right, that's pretty good, huh? We get a pair of those hands. I do like that they actually have the absorbing one painted. I think, are they all supposed to be like that, or that one was not painted? No, okay. So these ones are probably for the ones that peg. Yep, these are the ones. These have little pieces like this where they peg into, so you can put his blast effect in. I do wish it was more of a softer rubber that just came out instead of this clear plastic, but hey, it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. And then we also get another pair of those exact hands, but these ones have the painted absorption in the middle of them. Pretty good. And then we also get these ones. And then of course I did mention the blast effect, which is right here. One of the better looking blast effects from SH Figuarts. Really nice. It's clear with that dark gray with the silver in the middle, and then you guys can see the pink electric effect around it. Really good. And this is what I was talking about. You can pretty much, I think, do it like this. There we go. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. I would have liked that they just incorporated it into the hand itself, but to give us the ability to do it ourselves, it's also pretty cool. I think it would have just been better if you just put a rubber piece in here and just put it right inside the hand. Because honestly, if I have these hands, it's the only time I'm ever going to use it. But again, still a good idea to do it this way. So Bandai's learning. The other thing about this figure too that also it comes with too, and I'll show you too that it can do, is also it can pull out its wrist pegs for his rocket effect. If I can get it to come out. There we go. There we go. So that's pretty cool too. I almost forgot to mention that. So as far as, again, details go, this definitely matters. And it's just kind of like Android, I believe it was 15 that did that ability. Now Super Android 17 gets to also do that ability as well. And it pegs in and out pretty easily. It's a little rough at first, but you can see pegs right in beautifully. So pretty good there. And before we wrap up this review, there is one more thing we did get. I almost forgot to mention. This comes with him as well. This is supposed to be some kind of like backdrop for Goku. This is, again, the golden dragon that came out in GT. It was one of his abilities that he did, the dragon fist thing, whatever. So again, if you got this with that extra alternative Goku head, that's kind of the way they're kind of like selling you on. Hey, this thing is definitely worth $100 because you get all this. It's not, guys. Like, I'm sorry. If I paid over $100 and this is what I was getting out of the box, I'd be very disappointed. But I did not pay $100. I paid $78. Again, huge shout out to Hobby Genki. I believe it's still on sale, so I would highly recommend you guys go over there and check them out and see if you can snag this figure for the price that I did. Definitely worth it for the price that I paid for it. With that being said, my final score on this guy, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I know I've been pretty much singing his praises, but I'm still going to give him a 7 out of 10 just for a couple of reasons. The main reason I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 is I don't like that he just cannot balance on his own. Like, he just can't. Like, just a generic standing up, like he's not a heavy figure, so he should be able to easily stand. That to me is always a big deal. The other reason why he's going to get a 7 out of 10 for me is just because his original MSRP. Now, I got it on sale, so if I was basing it off the sale price, I'd give him an extra point on that. It'd be an 8 out of 10. But his original MSRP is ridiculous. And the way that SH Figuarts is trying to sell us on these figures by saying like, hey, this is worth $100+. You get this alternative Goku head. Hey, we actually gave you a blast effect this time. And hey, we gave you that little golden dragon display. That's worth $100, right, guys? You're talking about literally less than maybe 30 cents for this. To make this blast effect, another maybe 30 cents for that one. And that dragon stand, what, 75 cents to $1? Come on. You could do better than that. This figure should have already been priced at where the sale price is right now. If it was based off of that, it'd be a solid 8 out of 10. It's just really missing that fact that it cannot balance. That deserves a couple points off the board for me. That's kind of where I'm at with this figure. You guys comment down below. Agree or disagree with me. I would have also liked to see an additional faceplate for that original $100+ MSRP. That is insane that we don't get it. And again, I'm trying to stand him up. I just cannot, just normal standing pose. You have to really spread his legs apart, bend knees, and even still, the ankle's just not that good. Can I get him to stand this time? Let's see. Nope, can't do it. So because of that, 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up button. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.